Howdy folks, Grok the DuckFarmer here, and I'm playing Feed the Beast Evolution here on the FTOG server, standing at my create area because the last episode was getting too long and I wanted to do so much more and I decided to break it. So this is part 2 of dealing with create, and there's so many fun things with create, and I am just having a blast with it. There's so much things that I could do that I'm not, which makes me feel bad. But I do have cool goggles and a cool wrench. So there's that. Let's go ahead and show this off. Let's move that wrench out of the way. We just had a reboot, so the my health is roaring back. Oh, and Linda is having an issue with her amethyst geode guy. Anyway, so this right here is the mechanical crafter, and the standard setup for doing the crushing wheels. And to power this, well, if we look at the recipe for these mechanical crafters, crafting brass casing, that's just taking a log, stripping it, hitting it with some brass, totally easy. Electron tubes, I showed this off briefly. Iron plates, I can make those easy. Polished rose quartz is where you sit there and use sandpaper, which I now have a permanent one. And what you do is you hold the sandpaper in your offhand and then right click on this rose quartz. And that's just this, quartz plus redstone. And it'll polish it for you. And if you can make it permanent, that's fantastic. I went ahead and made a whole bunch of these. I overlooked the fact that the recipe makes 3 of these crafters at a time. So I only need to make 7 batches, and I made 21 of the polished rose quartz diode what's-its. So anyway, when you place these, they have these little guides. They connect to where you place. So when I initially put the first 3 down, they were all pointing down. But you can use your wrench to sit there and rotate where they're connecting, and you want to have them all flow. And that's kind of annoying having that right there in my face. All right, there, where it flows down, so it all goes into some storage option. Barrels work really well for me because they're right there. And you can see they've got a little gear here. If we run around behind, what I've got is 2 water wheels. 1 probably would be sufficient, but 2 definitely worked. Okay, let's put this goggles back on and look at the rotation. 16 each. I'd have to do the math, but having 2 is not bad. You might be able to get away with having. No, I think you're going to need 2. Anyway, those just point into a gear, and that runs all of these. So let's take this 1 stone piece. So planks the andesite alloy and the 1 stone right in the center. Doink. And is this going to be fast? No, this is not going to be fast at all. Clunk. But it's going to slowly compact everything down. And I could hit it with my time pouch, but I don't think that's going to work because these are multiple blocks instead of just a single block. So I'm okay. I don't have to have everything run fast, but I love the animation on this. I think that's fantastic. Other packs use these crafters to craft various things. And you can craft all sorts of things with this. And swirly, it's interesting. A lot of the animation disappeared. And there's my grinding wheels. Cool. And those will go into the barrel. If I didn't have the barrel here, it would just spit them out into the world, which is not that grand of a deal. But now I've got crushing wheels. And this is my setup for the crushing wheels. And I'm hoping it will work because I'm just kind of guesstimating here. So what I've got is a chest up here, goes into a chute, which will drop the items into the crushing wheels. And if you have too many items here, because there's only so much it can do, the chute shouldn't hand off more. I'm hoping. And then this chute will sit there and suck up whatever is the result into the chest down here. And then behind here, I have a gearbox because I want to power this. And right now I don't have anything to power that. But I've got this. I love these contraptions. Create has some of the best ways of just throwing things together. And I've got these belts here. These are new, the belt funnels. It takes whatever is in the chest one by one and drops them through. And then we've got, these are new. These are deployers. I love the pointing fingers. They will actually work on stuff as they go through with the conveyor belt. And then again, the belt funnel here will suck up whatever on the belt and drop it into the chest, which is fantastic. These are just blocks to make it look better. Otherwise, you have floating chests, and that's just silly. Over here, why do I have this here? Oh, this is what's actually powered everything. That comes up from below. Now, let's break this. Down here, I've got 3 water wheels. Isn't it great to have a basement to do your work in? Yes, it is. Anyway, I've got 3 water wheels here to provide enough torque. I'm not sure if I needed all 3 of them, but get out of there. They're easy to make, so that's not a problem. Anyway, this spins this pipe here, not pipe, it's the andesite bar. It spins this one, and then this is a conveyor belt. If we take a look, now let's hit V here, belt. These mechanical belts, one of the other things that's fantastic about Create, hold W to ponder, or whatever key you bind to that. Oh, I can't actually have my, take my focus out of there. It shows you how to do this stuff. This is fantastic. In-game helps are the best type of helps, and visual in-game helps are even better. So I love this. You sit there, make the belt. You've got 2 of these shafts. You can just click on one shaft, click on the other shaft, and it'll join those 2 with the belt. Whatever the length is. Maybe 16, 32, I have no idea. But you can sit there and run those. And it showed also that you can put additional shafts in there, which will take that rotational power. I love this help thing. So very nice. Anyway, so I put down a shaft here, put down a shaft here, ran the belt, and this is what's going to transport stuff across here. Then over back here, I added an additional shaft and a shaft in the middle of these 3 deployers, so that rotational energy comes up here and moves that central one. Well, that's great, but I need 3, which is why I put 3 of the shafts here and a belt here. That's how the rotational energy is being moved from this belt to that deployer to these 3, so all 3 of them are running. If you can wrap your head around that, you'll do great with Create. Anyway, the reason why I wanted this was I needed to make something. The idea is over here, I could have multiple. Well, here, let's do these crushing wheels and hit W on this. I'm clicking you. I'm hitting W. No, I'm hitting W. Why are you just not pondering? Highlight W. Huh. Okay, let's do it over here. Crushing wheel. Click so it's not focused, and then W. What happened to my W? I was just praising you. What if I W here? Very strange. All the W's are... Anyway, these need to go in opposite directions. So if this one is going clockwise, this one needs to go counterclockwise. So the 2 faces crash into each other and do the crushing. If they're both going the same direction, it won't work. Now, the easiest way I find to do this, ooh, hey, I can't sneak in here. I've got these large cogwheels here, and I want to add a 3rd cogwheel in between, and I may have to back it up one, I'm not sure, but a 3rd cogwheel perpendicular to these, so it will drive both of these simultaneously. And I may have to flip it just so that these 2 crush inwards instead of going the opposite direction. Anyway, the way I want to do that is I want to make this the rotational speed controller. And it says I can W it. Why now, there's the W. Anyway, I want to put the large wheel on it and send in the power, and you can adjust the power. So I can speed it up to be really fast, which is fantastic. That's what I want. However, to make this beastie, I need this, the precision mechanism. All right, now to make that, I need to use these deployers. I need to run it through this recipe of small cog, big cog, iron nugget 5 times in a row, and there's an 80% chance that it'll work. I don't like those ads. I really don't, because anyway, so what I've got is chutes on top of the deployers and chests on top of that, so I can click in here. Oh, hey, look, I actually have one successfully made. That was the second time I ran it through. Dang it. All right, so I'm going to put the small cogwheel goes in first. The large cogwheel goes in here. And notice these hands are now holding, let's go around this side. They're now holding these items. I think that's cool. I think that's a really cool mechanism. Okay, so now as soon as it goes all the way up, it's now holding the item. So I can put in my gold plate in here. And the graphics, so much fun. Slow, yes. Could this go way faster? Yes. Am I going to do that? No, I don't care. Because I'm going to use this infrequently enough that it's just fine. So there's the first 3 of 15 items. And you can see it's got progress 3 of 15. All right, so we'll put it back here. I could set up some sort of pipes to route this back. I don't care. When I was making, in previous packs, when I was doing this dozens and dozens and dozens of times, yes, I sped it up, and I also went ahead and set up pipes to route the unfinished bits back again, and that way it could just process, process, process. Unfortunately, these do not stack, which is a shame, but that's okay. That's why you have larger storage. Anyway, the cool effects, I love this. I think this is fantastic. All right, let's see. This is the 3rd round. And yeah, for making a video, doing this faster would be greater, but I don't have the time or inclination to speed those up with routing the multiple large cogwheels into small cogwheels. Yeah, too lazy to do that for this. However, in some of the packs, there is a motor, and I looked, but I didn't find it in here, maybe just because I'm brain farting on the name, but there was a motor that you could supply it RF, and it would generate the rotational force for you. And if that's the case, I've got lots of RF. I could sit there and use that, which would be fantastic, because then I could control the speed far easier without all these water wheels. All right, this is the last pass through. Okay, and the hand is now pointing instead of holding because it's done. And there's the last of that one. All right, so now the nugget, and it'll either give us the gold circle. Yes, it worked. And now I have 2. Yay! The thing, oh, yep, that's why I didn't pull it out, because I want to get the accomplishment. So now, if I use this, I want to make this rotational speed controller. Do I have a brass in hand? I'm missing the brass one. All right, let's get some brass. Let's get several of those, and wrong key, the V key, and let's also get some birch. Birch. There we go. Spelling is important. Okay, let's do 5 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, I need to strip them first, and then let's grab the brass. And these connected textures, so cool. All right, let's dump all that into the system, because now I want to make this rotational speed. What's it? Let's grab that bad boy. And if I take this and I slap them right there, I think it needs to go back a square. Okay, let's go Wow. Broke too much. It's my... Oh, the magnet's not working because that's here. That's why. Where are you? You go here and then that. And I'm going to put you here and then you there. And you can see it says 16. And I need another large wheel. No, V, not B. Let's do create. Oh, I only have small wheels. Let's make a larger cog wheel. All right. And if I had a little bit more space, that'd be good. I think that will work. I think that will connect with the rest of these. So when this gets rotational energy, that should spin this up. All right. Motor. Ooh, that's a creative motor. Okay, I don't... I looked and looked and I didn't see the one that uses power to make the rotational energy. Maybe I'm just brain farting on that, but that would be the best. Anyway, the best thing I can do right now is the rotational speed controller. So that means I need to drop a hole right there. And let's come down here. So I need to drop down a shaft down to here, turn it, and then make another system like this. I don't have to speed it up like this. I just need a lot of rotational force. So I may make another 8 of these wheels and run them right through here. It'll get close to that, but I should have enough room. I'll do that off camera because that's kind of boring. And and we'll just store those right there. All right, so that's the crushing wheel. As soon as it had power, that should be done. And this, you can see where it says 16. It says click and hold to edit. So click, okay, right click and hold. I can change which direction and the RPMs of it. So you'd say the top one is clockwise, the bottom is counterclockwise, and I can go all the way to 256 or all the way down to 1. So I can set it however I want. That sort of control is fantastic. I want to get it max speed just because that will process the stuff super fast as it can, which is good. All right, so these mechanical control, and there's a bunch of these. Let's see if I do deployers, and see now the W's working. Here's the wheel. See now the W's okay. Maybe I've got to change my keyboard because I sometimes get a sticky shift or control key causing issues. But you can see, can I rotate this? Ah, darn, that would be nice. No, let's replay. Anyway, this has all sorts of fun ways of routing stuff in, and I'm just doing chutes rather than all these conveyor belts. But you can see it's got quite a lot of cabling here of these cogs to sit there and switch the rotation. I find that one rotational controller to be better, especially since I can up the power on that. And now I can make more of these. I can sit there and up the speed without having to go cog to change those. Although this might be one of the better ones to change for that. Anyway, one of the other things that's a handy contraption are the multi-block contraptions. In fact, let's go up and take a quick look. One of the things that you can do is rotational energy is cool. Here is the the windmill bearing, which is not hard. Nope, wrong one. The windmill bearing. So some sort of stone with a slab and the shaft, and this. I put it down. I used the glue in my offhand. Oh, hey, let's go take, no, wrong key, B key this time. So there's my eternal super glue, which has been fun. I held that in my offhand and I hit the bottom of the bearing with this shroom light, and that glued the shroom light to it. And then I made some of these windmill sails. So here's a windmill sail, alloy stick, wood or wool, and it just looks brown, looks very woody. Anyway, so it with that I was to make a pair of these, and I made 32, and then I just kind of stuck them all together on here, and the glue helps hold them all in place. And if I right click, it says 0 kinetic stress at this point because it's not moving, but if I right click this, that's 2K. With those 32, that's quite a lot of stress to sit there and be able to force through. Wow, I didn't expect that to start up there. All right, so let's show this off. This is my tree farm, so that I can get lots and lots and lots and lots of spruce. And I can then turn that spruce into just spruce logs for whatever my wood needs happen to be. Let's get that off of my bar. And you can see this process here with the rotational energy below is driving this around in a circle. And that's perfectly the circle I want. I can shift right click, I think that spins it the opposite direction, but yeah, I won't. And spruce is one of those trees that I love to make a farm out of because you get these 2x2s, really tall, lots of it. I see lots of people setting up oak tree farms. Because you only get 5 to 6 logs from every tree, and then the rare tree that maybe gets you double, triple that. That right there is also one of the very cool things. All right, so you can see the saws here. I need to kind of stand away so trees don't grow into me. So here's a bank of saws, and the saws are pretty cheap to make. Just iron, and andesite casings. And so the bank of the saws running around, and this just rotates through. Then I'm using these andesite blocks just to kind of hold things together. A whole bunch of barrels for storage, and that little thing there, that's the portable storage interface. I have one here and one there, and you want a gap between them because they will couple together as necessary as they come together. Here we go. They do a little kiss, and it transfers everything down here into my ender chest, which shoves it into my system with void upgrades. Always void all your stuff. This here has a filter on it. We'll let that go through. I'm going to go ahead and right click the filter. It's got a spruce with a deny list on it. So the saplings stay in there. I'm going to come down here and turn this off. Right click. Did I? I think I did. Okay, yeah, I thought that moved me out of the way just fast enough. Anyway, I got these saplings because there was 2 here and 2 here, and that just missed me. And because these go from a rotating, it's not really their sort of block, to these solid blocks, those saplings disappeared. So that's the what's happened there. Let's toss those into here. Okay. So this is just the andesite casing going all the way across. So I have something to build off of. And with my super glue in the offhand, I pasted the first casing onto the mechanical bearing underneath, and then pasted all the rest of them onto it. And if I just hold this, you can see that light green border. That tells me what blocks are super glued together. Be very careful that you don't place the blocks down on the ground, because you will be super gluing them to the ground, and when this rotates, the ground moves with you. Yeah, I've done that way too many times. Anyway, I also went ahead and super glued these barrels in place, and I also, let me move away from here, super glued in the portable storage interface. And again, you leave a block. Then on top, I added another row of these casings. Any block, it really doesn't matter, but there is a specific block that's designed to work together, and you don't need the glue, but you need the glue to glue these other things on here. Anyway, these deployers I put down, and standing here, I had to place them, and then I used my wrench to sit there and rotate them around. So the spinny part here runs along. It doesn't matter. It will, whatever the orientation, these will activate because it's part of a greater unit. But this, I wanted the filter here to show up. And so that's why I right-clicked them with the spruce saplings. So this knows these hands need to push down spruce saplings. And that's what plants all of these. In fact, if I go and harvest these up, let's harvest these guys up too. I'll put them inside here. doot, and doot. Now let's move that off my bar. These will automatically plant them as they run around. And then this smart shoot, because I wanted that filter, and that keeps the saplings in here. It does mean that eventually I'm going to have to come through and clean out the saplings, but I've got a lot of storage for that. And if I really wanted to, I could set up a second one of these portable storage interfaces pointing in, got a little tree in the way, pointing in right next to it. And I would have another one of the smart shoots with the filter, but this time allowing the saplings to come through and void them into a trash can, because I really don't need them. And there's enough saplings being generated from this that I'm going to be positive on the saplings. So that's something I could do. And then the other question is, okay, why am I doing spruce? Well, no apples, and I don't care about the apples, but no apples are being harmed in this production, and it just gives me the trees. That gives me the spruce logs, the spruce saplings, reused, and sticks, and those are all Minecraft things, vanilla. And then roots gives me all those random root things. Here, let's V and roots. It gives me these, the black currant, the elderberry, all those things that we're getting from trees, which are great early game when you're starving. Not so good late game when you get lots and lots of them. So again, those get sent through my ender chest down into my storage with a void upgrade on them. So they go away because I don't care about them. I'll have, 512 of them. That's fine. Anyway, the other thing you may be asking is, okay, Grok, why do you have this weird checkerboard setup here? Well, I want to have 2x2s here. Let's grab another set of these. I want to have some of these 2x2 spruce setups so that I can get the tall spruce, wrong, B's and V's. I'm constantly having problems with these. There we go. Because I want these to grow, and this forces these 2x2 patterns around. And then I also have, in this case, kiwi, just because it's a nice black rock. I'm having these in here to separate them around. Spruce isn't a problem. I could have this entire thing set up with spruce, and it would actually grow some of these 2x2s. But if I want to swap this out with dark oak, the last time I built this in a different mod pack, none of the dark oak grew because it has to be a 2x2. But because it was this large area of multiple 2x2 areas, all of these were dark oak, none of it grew. Now, maybe it'll grow in this pack. I don't know. But the dark oak just did not grow in this. And so that's why I had to set up this 2x2 checkerboard. And then the dark oak worked. Well, I don't need dark oak, but if I do, I want to be able to repurpose this. I would just sit there and put dark oak saplings here, load some dark oak saplings into there, boom, done. The system would be working with dark oak. That's why I've got the checkerboard in here. And I put initially coarse dirt because I didn't want the podsole to show up. Yeah, the podsole showed up. So that's just the way it is. All right, so this is pretty easy to set up once I wrapped my head around the fact that I needed barrels here. I tried the drawers, not the drawers. I tried any storage should work, and I've used the iron chests in other packs, I think. It's been a while. I've slept since then, so I don't remember. But I think I used the iron chests, and I think I also used storage drawers in the previous pack when I did this. But barrels definitely worked. I tried with chests. The iron chests and the sophisticated storage chests that are in this pack didn't work. It didn't work at all. Not even just the regular chests. But I'm going to come in here. I'm going to right-click empty hand that, and that starts that moving. And it just replanted those 4. Hit that tree, and it's just replanting. I initially had a square here, and then I trimmed away and put this border in place just because now it looks a little bit better. And eventually it'll all oxidize to something that looks nice and green, and we'll kind of match that down there. But anyway, this You can do the same sort of thing with crops, but instead of using this saw here, you'd use the harvester. And it's smart enough to not break the stuff underneath, unless the mod that has that crop actually breaks when you harvest it. I don't like that. I like right-clicking my crops to harvest them. I like that much better. Here, I'm going to stand right here and out of the way, out of the way. Grow. So this will make for me a lot of wood for me, which is great. And then the thing I love, and I don't know the logic behind it, but when you've got a large amount of connected logs, it will at some point break all of them. There was the entire tree that got chewed down. And here comes probably one or two, yeah, as it chews in this bottom log piece. And then eventually it says, oh, it's a large connected piece, and boom. And then boom. Yay! and it just keeps roaming around. And when it's all said and done, there it goes. It connects, it pumps the stuff into here, and my system just pulls it out of this chest and stores it. And like I said, void upgrades. Oh, one thing I did do is I put a layer of the stone here because this is my off section, and what will end up happening is it will break any of the saplings that would be placed here. I don't like that idea. I like it to have it actually work. That should make all of those go away soon. There it goes. So much wood. This is a great way of gathering resources. Is this the only way to set this up? No. I saw a video where the guy had it going back and forth in a rectangular spot rather than the circular one, which is great because it's very extendable. You just keep adding more and more, and it uses a different mechanism for the rotational energy it needs. But what was cool is you've got these saws on this end, and he had these deployers on the other side pointing back, and they were planting the crops just the same. Are you just gonna forever be there? Yeah, I think that log is just forever gonna be there until some other log appears. Okay, that kind of hurts my feelings. Let's break that guy. And I think what I may do is break this. That way nothing is planted there. And we don't get the 2x2s. And then we don't get that weird extra log just sitting there annoying me. Anyway, but the cool thing was you had the saws on one end and the deployers on the other. And when it hit the end of the pass, it rotated that 180 degrees and then went back the other direction. I thought that was a really cool mechanism. I thought, if I remember, Future Grok will paste that video in the link because that was really cool. A lot more sophisticated than this setup, but really cool. I just didn't want to do it here because I had already done it. Anyway, we've got this done here. I'm going to stand here and create is fun. Create is very fun. I love these large contraptions. I had one where it in the previous pack where all sorts of things needed to be done to get things crafted. Oh, I'm going for a trip. And so I ended up making a huge Rube Goldberg sort of setup where items were coming in from different places and being punted around to other places. It's fun. Create is loads of fun. And I'm a little glitchy here. Anyway, this has been Grok the DuckFarmer having too much fun with Create here on the Feed the Beast Evolutions pack. And I'm looking right at you. On the FTOG server. And thanks for watching. Oh, that knocked me off. And I may fall after this when the tree goes away. Unless I'm just at the right spot that I don't fall. We'll find out. And thanks for watching. Bye. Okay, this is the part where the tree gets chewed down. And we know whether I live or I don't. Oh, I'm over that block. I'd live. Oh well.